has hit the aviation industry worldwide, and British Aerospace is far from immune. But the depth and breadth of the redundancies announced today was greater than feared. In Aerospace's civilian aircraft subsidiary, Hatfield is especially badly hit, with 830 jobs lost, and 70 more are to go at Woodford in Cheshire. In the military plane-making division, 550 jobs will be lost at Wharton in Lancashire, 550 more at Brough near Hull, and 350 at Kingston upon Thames. The company blamed the recession and a sharp decline in defence spending internationally because of the end of the Cold War.
The world has got to pick up. We've got to see an end to this worldwide recession, and then we'll be a bit more optimistic about the future. But we're planning on success. But it depends on the marketplace.
Union leaders said the redundancies were too severe and short-sighted.
Well, there's only one word, and that's disastrous. And it's a wanton, needless attack on one of Britain's best exporting industries.
At Hatfield this evening, workers said that while cuts had been expected, morale was rock bottom.
Just totally depressing. We're all thinking the worst, expecting the worst, basically. We're just wondering if this is it, really.
British Aerospace managers are more worried about what the shareholders and the city analysts think than what this country needs as an aerospace industry.
Almost 1,000 engineers are among those to lose their jobs, a sacrifice of skills which underlines the depth of the crisis in manufacturing industry.
For Labour's economic team, the job losses at British Aerospace are another deep recession still hitting the whole of the British economy. A slump which they say the government's doing nothing to counter.
The recession which the government caused has now gone into the very bone marrow of the British economy, and they've known for a very long time that there was going to be structural change in the British aerospace industry. The government has not made any form of response whatsoever.
But the Defence Secretary said it was the worldwide recession and the impact of defence cuts which had created the problem, and he said better times were ahead.
On the defence side, we shall be placing significant orders in the future with British Aerospace, an important defence contractor. Defence contractor.
Some good course
Facing redundancy. Facing redundancy. The workers say they've been betrayed after hundreds of layoffs last year. Community leaders say it's a disaster, pushing unemployment beyond 20%. British Aerospace say the cuts are vital to protect them. He has this report.
This morning's announcement was a cruel blow for the workforce here at Hatfield and spells disaster for the Hertfordshire economy. Managers spoke of their deep regret but said the airline industry, their customers, were suffering the worst crisis in 40 years. The company says if the redundancies aren't made, British Aerospace simply won't survive the recession. But it's a sorry picture. Last year, 500 jobs went 1,500 at Hatfield and 2,000 at British Aerospace's military assembly plant at Kingston. This year, another 300 redundancies were announced last week at the Stevenage plant. With today's announcement of 830 jobs to go at Hatfield and 350 at Kingston, that brings the total number of redundancies to 5,480.
We currently have about 12,000 people employed in regional aircraft on the Jetstream, the ATP and the 146. And we're having to make reductions to that number of people. But we have to do that. The thousands of people who remain with regional aircraft, safeguard their jobs.
From today, managers will be looking for volunteers for their redundancy programme. If they don't find enough volunteers, there'll be cuts across the board. All the jobs have to go by the middle of the year. The unions say staff here are devastated by the news. They also say this management have not honoured assurances given after the...
Shocking, very distressing really. Going to get made redundant. Another news.
It's very shocking. Same sort of... We don't really know what's going to happen.
Do you feel hopeful if you have a job that you'll be able to?
Not in this area, no.
No. I mean, I've known people now been out of work 2 years sort of thing, you know. No chance, I shouldn't think.
Well, I think they're very shocked by today's announcement, and I think that they feel a sense of betrayal also. We now are in the position of saying that it's difficult to believe what they say to us today.
This latest wave of job cuts is expected to hit the local economy hard.
It's not good news at all. I mean, it's not good news for the people concerned and their families, and of course for the businesses like us who depend on those people.
The government has not taken any action to help the aerospace industry this recession. At all times, the
Session continues. British Aerospace say there may be further. Sharon Doughty, Thames News. There have been